We have the affidavit of Christopher Slatosch. In this video, we're going to be going over it from the recent response that Ty filed regarding the TCPAs that he is trying to defeat from the defendant's counsel. This affidavit from Christopher Slatosch is pretty telling. We already went over the affidavit of Chuck Huber earlier on today. If you haven't seen that video, just know that it's out there if you do want to take a look. Another video I released earlier today was covering the text messages between Ron Toy and Christopher Slatosch, the gentleman whose affidavit we're about to go over. So the text messages are certainly good to review. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to check that one out. And the reason why I divided that up is because the text messages in themselves are pretty long-winded. I believe that video came out to about 12 minutes or so. So combining that with this video, I felt like it would be a bit much to cover both in one when I could do it in two. Now, of course, the video I released earlier for Chuck Huber's affidavit is about 27 minutes long, but that's all just the affidavit. So, it's a little bit different than going to the text messages and the affidavit back and forth. So hopefully that's a good approach, trying to make it more streamlined and easy for people. Hopefully that's indeed what happened. With that intro out of the way, appreciate you guys being here. If you're enjoying the content that we are making on this channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up button, all that jazz tells YouTube that this content is worthwhile. It's good stuff. And if you're new to my channel, well, don't feel inclined to do any of that until you at least watch this video. Hopefully you enjoy it, and then, you'll do what you feel is right. And here's the content. Let's get into it. Affidavit of Christopher Slatosch, taking it from the top. On this day, Christopher Slatosch, personally known to me to be the affiant herein, appeared before me, and after being sworn according to law, on his oath deposed and said as follows. My name is Christopher Slatosch, and I live in Ector County, Texas. I am over the age of 18 years and competent to make this affidavit. I have personal knowledge of the facts stated in this affidavit, and these facts are true and correct. If I make any errors in my speaking, please forgive me. As you can see, the text is quite blurry, a little hard to read. I and my company, Silverfire LLC, Silverfire, are owners of KameyaCon, an anime convention. The agreement attached as Exhibit A was a binding contract between Silverfire and Vic Mignogna, providing for his appearance at KameyaCon on April 12th through the 14th, 2019. This agreement was executed in July of 2018. The listed date for KameyaCon is incorrect in the agreement. It should have been April 12th through the 14th, 2019, but both parties understood. Monica Rial was also scheduled to appear at KameyaCon on April 12th through the 14th, 2019. From February 2019 through April 11th, 2019, I had several conversations with Ronald Toy and Rial by telephone, and numerous text message conversations with Toy. Exhibit B is a true and accurate copy of the text messages exchanged between us. We will be reading those text messages in this video. And spoiler alert, it doesn't look good for Mr. Soy at all. Doesn't look good for him. I mean, you're going right up to the business owner and saying these things about Vic that are, going to convince the owner to maybe cancel that contract. It's not good. It's very bad, and hence cause of action, tortious interference with business prospects and contracts, right? Message conversations with Toy, Exhibit B is a true and accurate copy of the text messages exchanged between us. In these conversations, Toy repeatedly asserted that Vic was a very bad person and that these claims against him would soon be filed. Some of these claims even being not just civil, but criminal. Toy urged me repeatedly to terminate Vic's appearance. Wow, there you go. Straight up. That sentence alone is pretty bad. Toy urged me repeatedly to terminate Vic's appearance. I told him that this would breach the contract with Vic. He urged me to do it anyway, emphasizing that these criminal charges would be filed before April 12th through 14th, 2019. Wow. Really, man? You're not just, the claims that they level against Vic are bad enough, but to say that it's that extent when this is a whole civil case? Wow. Wow, that's all I can say about that. What happened to those claims, Ron? Whatever happened to that? You never did anything with that, it seems. Were you lying? In these conversations, Toy also encouraged me to not do business with Vic in the future. So it's not just, not just interference with the contract, but also potential business prospects indeed. If he's saying that, then it's pretty straightforward in my opinion. I participated in a telephone conversation with Rial in which she repeatedly asserted that Vic was all of these terrible things that they are claiming, and that soon these This would be escalated, not just civil charges, the same thing that we just said from Ron. She also implied, and I inferred, that she would convince numerous other voice actors to cancel their appearances at KamehamehaCon. I heard Toy in the background talking to her, and she periodically responded in agreement with him. Wow. Well, there you go. 2 peas in a pod, right? That's the saying. Termination of multiple appearances at last minute would have severely threatened the profitability of KamehamehaCon. Her threat turned out to be credible, since a number of the voice actors she claimed to have influence over ultimately did cancel their appearances. So shady, man. These people don't care about the fans at all, in my opinion, and you can see that through their actions. Just take a look. Real and Toy were aware that a contract had been given between Silverfire and Vic because I informed both of them of that fact, and they still repeatedly urged me to have Silverfire breach said contract. Toy also clearly implied that his company would withdraw a promised sponsorship. Ooh, what's his company? Worth approximately $25,000 if Silverfire did not breach its contract with Vic. The sponsorship ultimately did not materialize. I'm curious about that. His company, is that being like the mortgage company he works for or whatever? Or is it a company that Toy owns? A whole different company. Why would a mortgage company sponsor KamehamehaCon? Just cause the association, like, why would you use company funds? No, that doesn't make sense to me. I wonder if there's another company that Toy's involved with then. Silverfire did breach its contract with Vic by canceling his appearance. After being threatened with litigation from Vic's counsel, and after long negotiations and legal expenses, Silverfire agreed that Vic could attend KamehamehaCon under numerous restrictions that were not part of the original agreement and that were not imposed on other guests, including Vic paying for additional security, not participating in panel discussions, signing in a different location from other guests, etc. As a result of this compromise, a number of voice actors, Real mentioned, canceled their appearances. Here's Vic getting treated so poorly and still being willing to make an appearance to put it up for the fans that want to see him. And you got these other VAs that won't even make an attempt. It's like, nope, we're not going to be there then. Don't care about the fans. Nope. As a result of this compromise, a number of... Oh, we got that one. In summary, Real and Toy individually and jointly told me that Vic was a person who would soon be criminally charged before KamehamehaCon, and they urged me to breach the contract with Vic. They threatened to lead a boycott of KamehamehaCon, and they threatened to withdraw significant sponsorship money. Wow, they even threatened a boycott? They threatened a boycott. Where'd they get that from? Boycott Anime Matsuri? Oh my goodness, these people are all such scum, man, in my opinion. They threatened to lead a boycott of KamehamehaCon, and they threatened to withdraw significant sponsorship money that had been promised unless Silverfire breached its contract with Vic. Finally, they urged me to never do business with Vic in the future. This affidavit is great for Vic. Not so great for especially Ron, but also Monica. And, if Funimation is vicariously liable, well, it's not great for them either. Very bad. The only one who really might be getting the easiest draw on this is Marky so far from the 2 affidavits I've read. So there you go. That's the affidavit of Christopher Slatosch. Again, let me recommend, if you haven't seen the video going over the text messages, that you do so if you have the time. It's about a 12-minute long video. Very interesting exchange of dialogue between Ron Toy and Christopher Slatosch. In this affidavit, Christopher does allude to some of the conversation that was had through those text messages. Really telling stuff. You have Ron basically threatening, in my opinion, Chris, saying he won't sponsor the event, which was about a $25,000 sponsorship, I think the affidavit alluded to. And then, of course, also trying to get the contract with Vic canceled, and that could put them in a whole legal liability right there. And we saw that was the case because they were threatened with litigation for terminating that contract, breaching the contract unjustly. It's really a shame. I don't know anything about Chris Slatosch, really, but from reading his affidavit and just from seeing how he's handled KamehamehaCon, I feel for the guy. I think, again, I don't know him personally. I've never talked to him. I don't know that much about him. But just from following the situation these months and his involvement here and there, I feel like the dude is a good guy. He means well. He's trying to put on a good show for everybody with KamehamehaCon. The first KamehamehaCon last year was a great success, I believe. Wasn't there, heard about it though, seemed like it was a great success, and hence why they had a second one. It's really a shame, man. This guy has a unique idea, convention for Dragon Ball, which is a huge IP, very popular. A convention like that could work, and it seems like it was working. First year was a great success. Second year, all this nonsense occurs. And man, it's such a shame because Dragon Ball especially is a show that's affected by this whole issue. Certainly is. The ties with Funimation, these English dubbing voice actors and all that. It's really tough because now the guy has to decide between doing what he thinks is the right thing and bringing Vic, for example. And of course, Vic is a lucrative figure to bring. Vic has a lot of traffic he brings to these conventions. We've seen that, literally seen that time and time again. Even events he's been to that are not even conventions still brings a ton of traffic. Martial Arts and More, the New York Times event, for example, not conventions, and still huge events. So he brings a good turnout, but it's really tough for Chris and these convention runners. But let's focus on Kamehacon and Chris here, because they got to decide now, do we want to bring Vic, or do we want to try to bring the Funimation people? Because it shouldn't be like that. There shouldn't be a divide like that. The fans, man, it's just hurting them, and it's hurting business as well for the conventions. So it's unfortunate that a number of these VAs, a number of these guests, and even some of the convention staff and upper management at certain conventions, not Kamehacon specifically, that they don't care about the fans and just display such unprofessionalism. Truly saddening. And I feel, again, for Slatosch, man, because Kamehacon had a rough draw this year, and it had such a strong first year. And it also, if I recall, had a European convention, Kamehacon UK or something like that, which is entirely canceled now. So hopefully Kamehacon 3 goes well. I will state that I might be attending Kamehacon 3. I'm planning on trying to get to that one. I think it'd be fun. But of course, that's a long ways down the road. Just a little bit of information there. But all in all, this is kind of my opinion on this stuff. Of course, I've covered a lot of topics today, so I might be missing some things because I already stated those opinions in other videos, and I don't want to be too repetitive for people that are watching all of them, which, if that's you, truly appreciate you. That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying the content that much. And thank you. Thank you for the support. But yeah, with that said, though, not too much more for me to say. I hope Kamehacon 3 goes well. I think Slatosch is a good dude. Again, just my opinion, and a pretty loose opinion. Don't know too much about the guy. But that's it for this one, my friends. Leave me your thoughts down below on this whole situation. I will keep you updated as I get more information. And that's it. I should also mention, I don't think I'm streaming today, but I certainly do want to go over this document on stream. We're already making videos on it, yes, but it's always fun to review this on stream too and laugh at it in real time. And, well, some of it's laughing at it, some of it's serious, some of it's disgusting, vulgar. But a lot of it's nonsense that's worth laughing at, and that's always a good time. So hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow if that's the plan. I will tweet out information regarding my streaming schedule, but you guys know how it is. I'm usually live around either 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In wrapping this video up, I would like to give some shout-outs to the wonderful people who were kind enough to promote my last video on Twitter. Thank you, the Lancaster Kid, Champion Casey, Random Fandom, Brandon Mayo, Matt Hayes. I kind of messed that up. That was for the last video I released, but we have 2 videos from earlier today. And for the first video from today, the one going over the RWBY Affidavit now, shouts out to Chris D.A., Matt B., Spin Master Rakta, Hatred Everywhere, Garishma, Mark W., Crazy, well, CR4ZI, or 1. That was a tough one. Darkwing Duck, twice actually with Darkwing Duck. Hey, thank you, man. Cool Man X5, the Lancaster Kid, Random Fandom, Roboto-chan, Mr. Anime 343, Omni, Noptis Yorn, Yui Asa, Zek J, Geeky Kitty, and Cameron H. Shouts out to Alia. Alright, now we'll be wrapping this video up again. I do hope you enjoyed, and I will be seeing you next time.